it's a way for it to, that's a way for it to generate lava hexes. Do we want to have two? Here's a. Oh no, we can't because of Path Through the Earth. Oh, the Path Through the Earth generates any.
Yeah.
Here's what we do. The lava one doesn't destroy. It doesn't remove lava hexes. You can remove a lava hex from somewhere else on the map to put it underneath the target that you damage that way.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is
you can move it.
Right. So you do an AoE, you remove any number of lava hexes and put any number of lava hexes under people. So you could be like, okay, I've got 2 people around me, I'm going to do my AoE, I'm going to take 2 lava hexes from other places on the map, and I'm going to put them underneath those 2 people.
Everybody takes a little damage.
Or put them in any spaces adjacent to you.
But you got to move.
Yeah. So I want to do Origins...
Gotta move, man.
Gotta move. I want to do Origins 0...
Is it any number of them?
I think it's... I think... Yeah, I think it's any number.
So if you put out 7 of them,
yeah,
you can go and surround a character.
I said it. Well, no, because it has to be adjacent to you. Adjacent to you. You're putting them adjacent to you.
Oh, so you can surround yourself.
You can surround yourself with 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're fighting someone like that only has melee.
Then, yeah. If you're like, oh, I'm fighting Proletariat and Legacy and whatever. Yeah. You could do that, but it probably is more useful to not do that. Right. But I think that rather than saying you put it physically underneath a person, you can put it in a space. You can move one from somewhere else on the map to somewhere adjacent to you.
Okay.
Of that. And you might not want to.
I kind of like the feeling of having it underneath because what it's saying is that the area attack isn't a blast out from you. It's
I
shoots the lava underneath of
the advantage of doing it adjacent to you is this the exact same as underneath, and we can even have that be the art picture, but it gives you the additional utility. If you're standing here and you've got 2 people here and you want to put one here for some reason, you can.
Oh, see, so it's only this.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be like this.
No, it's a radius.
Okay.
It's an Origin 0 radius 1.
Radius 1. Okay.
And then you can move lava hexes from elsewhere into those adjacent spaces. And so you and honestly, most of the time you probably are going to put them underneath people because you now force them to move or take damage on their turn by the end of their turn. But if you have some reason that you want to put in an adjacent space that isn't next to a person, I'd rather give that ability that people can use it that way.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Volcanic eruption. I mean.
Sure. Whatever. Right now.
Yeah.
We'll work on the names.
Yep, I'll do that when I write up the doc. Alright, and so this is an attack, obviously. My hexes have devolved entirely.
It's just like a scribble.
This one is a pentagram gone.
It's pentagon.
No,
yeah.
it's the pentagram.
These are still hexes.
Yeah.
This one's just a scribble.
Yeah. That's like a tombstone. That's an ongoing. It says dots.
Yeah, it's a house. It's a drawing of a house.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. That's nice. I'm good at things. All right. So this is.
You just trust circles.
I think I want to make this. Oh, I'm going to make this a 3-die. I was going to say I'm going to make this a 2-die attack, but I'm going to make it a 3-die attack because you can use this one when you're not in magma form and not in magma aspect.
Right.
So. If you're in magma aspect, it's a 5-die attack to everything adjacent. But if for some reason there's a reason that you want to be in a different form, if you need to be super defensive right now or whatever, you can. But you can.
It's the same reason you always have solar flare on Ra.
Oh man. Okay. And so then this one is Origin 0, radius 1, and then. You may move a number of lava hexes from anywhere on the map to adjacent to a house structure. Okay. Cool. So Verdant 1.
I have an idea for an attack.
An attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it. We might not use this, but. What about being able to do an attack on anyone in cover? basically.
Oh yeah.
Like you just
The
have
trees
the
are-
trees just go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like.
Do we want to make it specifically in cover hexes that you generated, or in any cover on the map?
I don't like it being any cover.
Area, origin, cover.
Because then you're taking a risk, like you're making it really risky to go into cover. And right now it's not risky at all to go into cover.
Right. Right now it is correct to go into cover.
Right.
And with the Akash Darsha on the map, she can reach through and have the trees smack you
It would
around.
kind of
a
be
bit.
nice to punish that a little.
Right. There's going to be some cover in the world. I mean, there already is in the Wagner Mars base.
Yeah.
That is not trees. It's like smoke or something like that.
Right.
There's the reasons why she can do that.
That's
I'm okay
like
with that.
that's a corner case though also.
Right.
So.
Not all cover will be trees,
Right.
but any cover that's not, I'm okay with her having some other way that she attacks it.
Right.
Okay, so if that's going to be the case,
That's like a global too, but you probably have to discard something to do that.
I mean, we can make
I don't
it.
know. to make it cost enough.
Yeah, we can make it a one shot.
Oh yeah,
There's
there
always
you
that
go.
option.
I completely forgot we had that option.
Yeah, there's one shots. I'm gonna tentatively make it a one shot, but I want to see how it works first. So, it is attack. Yeah, that is a super cool idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. After I write this card, I want to. After I write this card, I want to check the Twitch chat and see if people have like suggestions for power cards.
Okay.
Because that is the thing that I wanted to do today is get people involved.
Yeah.
So take note of that.
See, we got
No. Okay. So right. So this would just be an
What's up?
Hey, Greg.
Hey, chat just wanted to let you know that that was an awesome idea.
The trees?
That's all- yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
It
that's
is.
all.
cool.
Thank
you,
Can
chat.
you? So because the chat tends to disappear faster, like I can only scroll back so far in it. I just said that after we finish writing this card, we're going to take suggestions for cards
Right.
and tweak them into possibilities.
Okay.
So if anybody posts any suggestions, can you copy those and like put them into an email draft for me and send that email once we move from here to checking the chat,
Yeah.
just to make sure that I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. So this is going to be. I think I have to make this a 3-die attack because there's a possibility that you could launch it from magma form.
Right.
Which means that like. But.
Fiery trees.
But I'm going to make it just Autumn 2 because I'm going to treat it like a melee attack essentially.
Yeah.
Because it's all the trees crap back in you.
Yeah.
6. Okay.
That's neat.
And so then this attack essentially is origin 0 from cover. Because it originates in the day. It's like, I'll have to figure out exactly how I'm going to phrase that. But so,
I think you probably just say origin 0 and then make this attack against every character in cover.
now do we want to make it so it's every character in cover or it's every opponent?
I think
in
every
cover?
character.
So
Like,
even your
you
teammates
go,
in cover, you're like,
get out of cover,
guys,
everybody.
So it is both a one-shot and can be supremely detrimental.
I like
to your teammates.
I like the having the edge to everything that she does because she's not really a team player also.
Right, right.
So like accidentally healing enemies and accidentally hurting allies, like it's a bit dangerous to have around.
I mean, Volcanic Eruption and Rock Armor are both very cool, but Pass of the Earth and what I'm currently calling Trees of the Field
Yeah.
are super, like, she's got some really cool stuff she's doing.
Yeah.
So,
There's trouble in the forest.
that's true.
Yeah.
Alright, so that actually took less time than I thought, so...
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see over here. I'm gonna bring this chair.
Oh, a chair?
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if they can see us.
oh, they
but
can just see us move up here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We'll see in
where
a second. I guess
I'm-
we're about a minute behind.
Yeah, I'm pretty low down there, but I'm about to pop up higher. So, I'm gonna... Oh my gosh.
Do you want me to tilt that down some?
No, because we're about to... That's where you are,
This is
and I
easy
just...
to do.
Okay.
It's-
Yeah, but now it's at an angle. Gross.
Yeah, I'll get that cut back.
Okay.
guess we'll see the angle in just a second.
Yeah. So here. Yeah. See, it's pretty.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Perfect.
Great. All right.
I did an awesome job rotating the camera.
Yeah, sure. How about the angle is? Okay. Okay. Teleport ability. Yeah, that's true. So I want to just make sure we didn't miss anything. Silverleaf wants to play the RPG. That is true.
Everyone wants to play it.
Right?
Yeah.
RPG's gonna be great.
So much poison.
They want the camera to follow us during the lunch hour.
The cord's not long enough.
Nope.
Sorry.
We got a cord extender and it didn't work,
Yeah.
so that was cool. This stream, I mean, we could get lunch and eat it at that table.
I figured we would.
Yeah, me too.
But we'll
We'll put up the
food.
be right back while we're getting lunch, and then we'll come eat lunch in front of you so you can watch us eat, because that's not creepy. Yes, Foot Magma is a 2-5 auto miss. Oh yeah, good. Yeah, Peter has gotten so into all the tactic stuff with running the tournaments. He's like memorized every card.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Craig claims that I'm going to illustrate this expansion. Okay, geez. Oh yeah, stealth bot cover. You can have Unity run forward, create cover for people, and then
do that and
yeah.
blow up stealth.
Yeah, although, yeah, that's terrible.
That's when Craig came in.
Yeah,
Okay, so
right there.
That's how far behind we are.
Yeah. Foot makes a Pokemon reference, and we're big enough dorks to just get it right off it. And there's a door! Hold on, guys.
There's a door.
There's a door. What? There's a door.
They put a door on our office.
There's a door. Yeah, that's on. What's up? Oh my gosh. So currently our offices are like this big long chunk of offices with stuff going back and forth, and we have this office section, and then we got all this office space that's way over there, and there's a construction crew right now that is like cutting holes through walls, and they just added a door there. So like I used to be able to look into the office over there and kind of just see a hallway that extended into forever, essentially. But now there's a door there, and so it's really exciting. Anyway.
Never has anyone ever been so excited about a door in history.
That's true. Okay.
Good rollout joke, but we laughed.
So Luther made a point about StealthBot that somebody was concerned about.
About StealthBot?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. No. Uprising. Cards, Unity, StealthBot. Me?
StealthBot.
Allies adjacent to StealthBot gain cover. So it's going to be not great for you if Unity's on your if Unity's on your team, but if Unity's on the other team, it's going to be super great.
Yes.
And StealthBot doesn't have cover, so it won't hit StealthBot.
Right.
But it'll hit any. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just seems like something you have to keep in mind.
Yeah. Okay. I want a card that costs an action and it is activate all hazard spaces now.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
We could say do we want it to not just be activate all hazard spaces, but is activate like just lava spaces, or do we want to just say no? Actually, I kind of like it to activate all hazard spaces because, well, but the problem with that is that then you have the problem of like, okay, well, when Ra is generating hazard spaces, and when like, then you have the correct strategy of, for instance, the operative can generate hazard spaces around her.
Right.
And so then you've got the operative and Akash Buddha on the team. An operative runs up next to somebody, but the hazard space doesn't hit them because she put herself there, so that hazard space doesn't activate. And then Akash Buddha says, "Okay, hazard space, go," and it hits somebody. Like,
well, I mean, there's a turn between.
but it might not be the person she ran next to.
It might not be that one.
Like
right.
that's I think I'm okay with it activating all like environmental hazard spaces, but those are also kind of like, well. Like I'm 100% okay with it activating a lava hexes.
I'm okay with it doing all of them if there's like an additional cost for it. Like if you have to pull tokens up to do it, you know, like if you burn trees to make more lava.
I might say activate all. There's a part of me that wants to say activate all lava hexes, and then any lava hex that deals damage this way removed from the map. So that way, all the lava hexes you can put down, and then you have two actions. One action, put down a lava hex. Second action, fire it off, and sure it kills it. But
yeah, that makes it really not that powerful. Like,
yeah,
most of the time you're only going to get one one lava hex out of that.
And lava hexes by themselves aren't super scary. It's lava hexes when they're adjacent to other lava hexes. Because the way the lava hexes work is they have the X, where X is every lava hex are adjacent to plus 1. So right now lava hexes are just one X, whereas the advantage is having multiple lava hexes once you create a field. What's up?
Peter's saying you could activate within a certain radius.
Oh, that's true. Spaces within a certain radius. Yeah. I still have the concern about running the operative, or people that generate hazard spaces that aren't like, even like Ra's Blazing Tornado hazard space. That's one thing, because it's there on the map. But it's when people like operatives at hazard spaces. I've got a sword, and anybody that steps in this area, I'm going to swing it. And for whatever reason, Akash Buddha is like, swing your sword down. You go, okay, I'll do that.
See, like, thematic.
Yeah.
Template about it.
Yeah. It seems awkward.
Yeah.
I like it though. That's definitely it's a cool idea.
It's a very cool concept.
And it fits for Akash Buddha more than it's going to fit for just about anybody else.
Yeah, if we come up with someone that it fits more. I really like the idea of that power though.
Okay, so I'm going to create just a doc here about activate all hazard spaces. I mean, we could give her a pile of one-shots. We could give her a bunch of things that are just like, she can only do these so often because she has so many powers. But we'll see. Okay, attacking people and cover, you place... Oh, instead of you place lava tiles on any number of cover spaces, force them to move or take damage. I mean, you can do that right now just by moving there and placing the lava. I want to avoid abilities that are put out. You can put out a bunch of lava at the same time,
right?
Because then lava gets lava can get significantly more powerful just by grouping it up. And so, keeping in with her slow rollness, especially because her being destroyed doesn't remove her tokens.
It also. Yeah, being the slow build and then the economy of placing and spending tokens, it has to be slow, you know.
All right. Could a lava attack do damage over time? So I've thought about damage over time.
Rough, yeah.
Right, I've thought about damage over time stuff in this game a bunch. Like we talked about doing damage over time stuff with Ra because he burns and then you're on fire. But the tracking of that is less fun than it is cool. Like the idea of you have a damage over time situation. Okay, so lava would stick to the attached character and do a smaller than usual amount of damage every turn around. Okay, so Slayer, great, but I mean the damage over time that is happening is that if you stay in that space, it does damage. But
I could see something kind of like the operative's poisons, that it's just like on all of your team's turns it does that every time, like, because then you have incentive to keep track of it, and if you don't, then that's on you.
Okay,
but like
this actually makes me think of the hazard spaces, the attack all hazard spaces. Instead of activate all hazard spaces, she has a card that instead of her activating them, it's like she has a power card that says during your surge phase, all hazard spaces activate, as if it's like as if it's like the end of the associated character's turn.
Okay.
So that kind of is the way that I would do a damage over time, is that like during a surge phase this thing happens. So she could have I mean the question is maybe it's like all hazard spaces in her line of sight. activate, or it could even just be to avoid the operative issue, and there's other characters that do that too. It could just be all lava hexes in her line of sight activate.
I'm fine with it being all lava hexes activate. If it's just
Every
lava hexes,
right.
then like I'm fine with it being all of them.
Okay, so
You don't want to be on lava hexes anyway.
Right, surge. And by making it a surge thing for her instead of an action, you can't put a lava hex under somebody and immediately activate it.
Right.
Because it happens during our surge phase. But it means you're not spending a power on it. It means for free, surge all lava hexes activate their hazard space attack, or what some wording like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Akash Buddha should have the one shot to take over any / all terrain features other characters have put into play. She's Mother Nature, all terrain is hers. That's true. The problem is like the list of terrain features that other characters put into play is really small. So essentially, Absolute Zero has his.
She should, for this scenario, have the ability to control raptors, though. Because
we did that, yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, for the Insular Primalis scenario, we can have some raptors and they're doing things, but I'm worried that it might be too much stuff going on. But if we want to, we can put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, if we give just a power to someone to like. To
the boss form.
Yeah, the boss form.
Yeah.
That's something cool that it could be doing that's different than
right.
The other scenarios.
But at that point, what we can do is instead of giving her a power card that activates them, just put Velociraptors in there under the control of the villain player.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have a power card for it. You just say, this scenario also has Velociraptors. Those Velociraptors are controlled by the villain. So, like...
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alright, that's done.
Okay. So, let's see. Does she have any way to change elevation? Yep, yes. It makes her... Can she raise or lower as well? Yeah. Maybe a card. Should we bring in dinosaur and inventory cards? Oh my gosh, people are...
Yeah.
Rock form can... Okay, dinosaurs, yes please. And these are my inventory cards. Kosh should have power for pushing opponents with all those hazard faces. That is true. She should have some ability to push people around.
Okay.
Because right now, her being able to push people into her lava and also her being able to push people into cover.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's thematically easy. You just make like ramps, that you just
better do an earthquake thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
shunts them in.
Okay, so we have that one. We have earthquake. Pushing characters. So yeah, we should absolutely be able to push characters, especially because you want to be able to maybe push your teammates too. You're like, I'm gonna do this thing where I hit all of the things, so you get out of cover, and then I'll do the thing.
Let's move everybody around.
Think about things that avatars do. What does an earthbender do? We do that thing. Okay. Oh, okay, great. Spirit of Entomb. Yeah, in the Spirit of Entomb from the card game, she could freeze or lower movement. Mm-hmm. I could see that. Lower movement. No, Link Fox, we're not going to add a promo card that lets you use environment decks from Sentinels of the Multiverse, the card game, as power cards in Sentinel Tactics. That's an idea. She blows up.
You can homebrew that one.
Yeah. She builds up hero cards to play more of her own, give her a train ability to remove zone cards in play, or even card slots to change her cards and power slots. Power removal is pretty rare and specific in this game.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it.
I could see her having a thing where she removed an opponent's power card somehow, and then she could change aspect. So instead of her changing a power off it, she could do some sort of attack or thing that removes an opponent's power card, and then she can, for free, and then as a base of that action, she changes one of her aspects. She can change to a different aspect. Like, That could potentially be cool. And that way
Yeah.
you're like, I'm in magma form, I'm going to make an attack, and then I'm going to do this other thing, and then I'm going to end my turn in rock form.
Yeah, let's mull on that one.
Yeah, there's something there, so
Yeah.
I'll put that down. Okay, there's a door. Well, door. Okay, great. Door is confirmed for tactics. That tells us where we are. Are you still trying to get a fog door? I'm absolutely still trying to get a fog door. It's probably not going to happen, but I want it. I told you about the fog door thing, right?
No.
Oh my god, they're so cool. So you put little they're machines that go in the walls,
Yeah.
and they usually have little vents at the bottom of the door, and then a vent across the top of the door. And the vent across the top of the door has a fan that's pulling up, and then the vents at the bottom of the door has a fog machine, and so then it puts fog out, and then it pulls straight up, and you have a wall of fog. So instead of the door to your office,
You just walk
instead
right
of a
through.
bead curtain, you have a wall of fog.
That's funny.
Yeah, we'll get one for our. Okay, you combine push and then temporary movement restriction. You push one and then no movement for one turn. That's too restrictive, but I could see pushing characters and lowering movement getting combined. Like, that makes sense.
That's cool.
And especially then, you can move your teammates around if you need to, but it
lowers their
could
movement.
lower the movement
Yeah.
speed. Yeah. Yeah, we do love your game/card, Peter. Maybe all lava. Okay, now they're getting into them talking about. Okay, and so yeah, I'm okay with all hot lava hexes activating if it's just lava hexes.
Right.
Cover hexes as activated as hazard spaces. Evacuate all environment. Rather than making cover hexes activated as hazard spaces, I want to keep the cover attack.
Yeah.
And so that's a different thing.
Right.
Instead of movement restriction, make a tactics and to have a chance to make a power card and play unusable for a turn. That's like not fun. Like, the advantage of like taking a power card away from someone is at the start of their turn, well, they can put it back in play, I guess. You know, if nothing else. So, activating lava's. But there's an advantage when like somebody has a power card that's making hazard spaces, or it is controlling their tokens on the board, or it is doing something like that. Taking that away, sure, they can put it back at the start of their turn, but they lost that effect for a while. So. Okay. Ooh, activate lizard spaces. Alright. Blizzard spaces, buzzard spaces, buzzfeed spaces. This is great.
Yeah.
Muzzle spaces.
You'll never believe these 10 spaces.
Heroes hate her. One weird trick.
One cool trick.
Alright. Yeah, you know what? Luther made the suggestion a while back when we were talking about activate all hazard spaces with their hazard attack. I like this even more, which is Surge, move all lava hexes one space, then all lava hexes make their attack.
So you go.
Well,
So it's like you're like.
Well, the lava creeps, it moves, and then it attacks. And the advantage of that too is then when you have like a lava hex here, and a lava hex here, and a lava hex here, you can be like, okay, move them together.
Yeah.
Now their attack is greater, and you can move them onto people.
Right, people feel safe, but there's 3 here, but
Yeah.
then you can,
Good job, Luther.
Is that Luther?
Yeah, that pink name there. That's his forum username. I'm sure I recognize him.
Okay.
The question there is, oh no, that's fine. Somebody said would it activate twice, once if you're standing on it, and then once during your surge phase. But like, yeah, if you end your turn on it, it activates, and then surge phase it activates. And it won't activate, like the lava space is moving under someone won't activate because they didn't move into it.
But it tells you that it activates.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
This is thematic. There's a bunch of characters in the game. Why is that a problem? Shoot. Chips to the ground instead of onto the knives or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like it being just the lava, and especially with moving the lava. A lava splatter. All lava spaces make a weakish radius 1 attack. At this point, okay, let's take stock moving him in my nose. Hand me my nose ring. At this point, I feel like we have a lot for lava because we're gonna have volcanic eruption, and then we're gonna add the surge. All the lavas do 2 things.
So we need more earth. And
What I want to do is I want to have 2 for each,
Uh-huh.
and then pass through the earth,
Okay. Yeah.
and that'll be 7.
Yeah.
So right now we have 1 rock, 2 lava, so we're good on lava, and 1 tree. So we need 1 more rock and 1 more tree.
Yeah.
Okay. And we could do this earthquake one for the rock, which is pushing characters and lowering their movement speed.
Right. That's pretty good.
And we could remove an opponent's power card and change their aspect as a tree thing. Maybe. I want to keep.
That doesn't seem specifically.
I like this one for the rock one. Well, it
Yeah.
does because like it's a growing thing and maybe a poison plant thing. I'm not in love with that one.
Yeah.
It's there. We're gonna leave it on the list. But what I want is something that feels more like trees or plants in some way. So we've got the earthquake thing here. So I want one more tree thing. So let's see what we got. People are messing around with the entome thing, but the earthquake is already kind of doing that with the lower the movement.
Right.
Because that's what the entome is there. We already have a damage all the characters and cover. I don't want to combine that with a pushing one because the damage all the characters and cover is already really huge.
Right.
I'm not other people's power card. Yeah, exactly. Silverleaf doesn't like denial effects, and that is true.
Yeah, she's right. Movement
Yeah.
freezing. It's
Yep.
not. I don't mind lower movement.
Yeah, the thing
But
is,
like-
we don't even need to with the pushing characters. I want to workshop Earthquake so it doesn't just do a push. I want to do a push and like something else.
If you
Oh,
move them in one direction, it's functionally lowering their move by one anyway.
right, if you're pushing them away from where they might
Right.
want to go. I want to do a pushing the Earthquake where you push things and then you can destroy, so push characters and then destroy or remove, hexes, elevation hexes to make attack. So you push any number of you can push like any number of characters in line of sight. You can push everybody in line of sight one space as an earthquake. But then you can make this attack against as many characters as you remove elevation hexes in the game. So you're making an earthquake, it's moving everybody, and then I'm going to remove 2 elevation hexes from different places in the map to make this attack against this guy and against this guy. And you can't be like, I'm going to move 6 elevation hexes and attack this one guy 6 times. It's based on number of characters. So if you have 3 opponents, the most you could do is remove 3 to hit 3. Or if you're playing against Unity, you can remove 5 to hit 3 and the 2 bots. But they have to still be in line of sight. They have to have been affected by the move. So I'm okay with that. So it makes an attack, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
But, okay. All right. We just caught up to the fog door, just the re-fog door discussion. Ongoing for a swamp bog that reduces all enemy movement to 2. Again, we're trying to avoid the movement thing. Swamp bog is cool.
That's gonna be mangrove though too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there
way
would
gonna
like
be
an
mangrove.
Area of movement.
Mangrove's gonna
reduction.
mess with movement. Like that's
Yeah.
almost certainly. Different idea for lava form, an area attack that also attacks anyone adjacent to lava hexes. I mean, we could tack that onto the volcanic eruption one already.
That doesn't really bother me.
To where that one, the attack is made at origin 0, radius 1, and anyone at radius 1 to lava hex. If any, that one's, yeah, that, she tends to be like very small area, the whole world.
Yeah.
This Windows icon doing down
I don't know. Mine just did that too.
here? Windows 10.
Your Windows 10.
We'll look at you later. Free upgrade works. What?
Oh.
Well-
Okay, I'll probably do that.
Yeah,
But-
we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, because
I just got that too. I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna ignore
yeah,
it.
okay. Well, now you know.
That's a tomorrow thing.
No, later today. We'll be done with this in like an hour or 2.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Which? Oh, it's still. Okay. Area attack origin 0, radius 4, roll X dice for X to targets elevation +1, but that's for rocks. We already have the earthquake one. I need a trees one, people. Trees one.
Need brambles.
Yeah, but brambles we already have with. I know you're making a joke. But brambles we already have with.
No, I was reading.
Oh, I see. Oh, you need brambles? Yeah, gotta have brambles. Alright, start getting cover open. Okay. Ongoing. Gain 1 defense for each elevation below 1 you are. There's already enough defense that this guy has, and yeah, she has tons of defense.
Right.
I want something. I want something weird. I want the trees like give her. Right now, actually, hold on. Right now, the verdant aspect advantage of +2 reach does absolutely nothing.
Right.
Because Volcanic Eruption is the only attack. Volcanic Eruption and Trees of the Field are the only 2 attacks she has. And even the Earthquake that she could do with the verdant, but all of those originate from somewhere underneath someone, essentially. Reach doesn't do anything for any of those.
Right.
So
we need something.
Or we need to change. I think this Reach +2, as much as a cool idea for the trees, it's useless. Like,
Right.
that is, the tree...
It's not this character.
It's not this character. So that needs to, I'm going to cross that out. We'll go back to what we could do for the reach. So at this point, we need a tree card.
What about faster build? Because like there's
Talk about the,
Yeah.
so what do you mean by faster build?
like more token placement, I guess, from
When you're in the verdant, well, when you're in the verdant form, the only type of one you can place though is cover. So that
not necessarily like
I mean,
some powers. Well,
past the
yeah, I
earth
guess,
is the
yeah.
only one. So
Boy.
okay, well, think on that.
Yeah.
I want to get through here. Hazard cover, spaces for around her, cover for allies, hazard for enemies. Surge, all allies in cover restore 1 health. No, we already have plenty of healing. It's a thing, but she already does have plenty of healing. I don't want to yeah. Okay. All characters within radius 4 gain 1 health. I mean, all characters within radius 4 gain 1 health, but I mean that's got to be the whole team. The Unpub, that's probably Daryl. Hey, Daryl. Yeah, she should shoot bees from her mouth. You know what? I actually like this point. Give Akash a big fat tree hammer attack. Right now, she doesn't have... The only regular attack she has is the magma attack. Like, what if we gave her... Oh, somebody said we could heal characters and cover. Right now, the only attack she has is she has the magma attack, which is the regular 3-die hit somebody attack. But then she has the volcanic eruption, which hits people adjacent to lava hexes. The trees of the field, which is a 1-shot that hits everybody in cover, but that's just a 1-shot, so you'll do that once, maybe twice a game.
I kind of feel like she needs an ult too, where she takes tokens of all of the different types out. Because we talked about doing that.
Right.
Expending all of the different types to do one big thing.
Do we want to put that on her character panel so that she always has access to that?
That's going to be something that you don't need to one-shot it because you need to use so much for it.
Right. Okay. Trees could give allies reach. Oh, tree could give allies reach.
Allies reach.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. No, that's super great. So, verdant. All allies in line of sight.
Get reach too. That's
Allies in line of sight. We'll try that.
Yeah.
Allies in line of sight gain reach plus. I'm gonna say +2 because reach +1 is not that much.
Yeah.
But reach +2 is pretty decent, and if it's too strong, we can always bump it down.
Yeah. That's like a full map snipe for Wraith.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Wraith already has a full map snipe. Let's be honest. So yeah, that way it keeps the in verdant form, allies in line of sight gain reach +2. That's fine. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, that makes that heal and buff like support form.
So right now the trees of the field is an attack. So her other one should be some kind of support. Why would she have an attack that hits people in cover and then ability to heal people? Why would she have an attack?
I think someone else said that.
Than
I think it means then.
All right. Log throw, covered in bees, tree impale, Nazi bees. She should probably have a base attack of some kind. She does have a base attack of some kind. The magma aspect, when she's in magma aspect, she has a base attack. When she's in rock aspect, she can gain defense. When she has a verdant aspect, she can create forest hexes. And you can't ever prevent her from being in aspects or changing aspects. That said, we'll also give her the basic attack on her character sheet that is the expended ton of tokens to do a ton of things. But we'll see. She could have scary grabbing trees like in Snow White. I prefer the scary throwing apple trees from Wizard of Oz, personally. Attack with vines, drain enemy tokens.
That's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Vibes.
It's weird to me right now that the two things that we're talking about for the trees form, though, are attacks. Like, she has her base ability, which is healing, but then the trees of the field is an attack, and that one should absolutely be. I think her other trees one should be some kind of support.
I like the drain. Like, I maybe don't link it to an attack. Just like drain enemy tokens, and you get them.
Oh, no, I don't like that. Wrath, I like that idea, but I don't like that idea for mechanical reasons. Wrath Wolf says instead of reach +2, they should let your allies see through elevation, and like that is a cute idea. It's super cool, but like in a game against her, cover is already messed up a little bit.
Right.
Messing it up that much
Cover's just messed up a lot.
Yeah.
It's like
the trees of the field is a one shot. So after she uses it, you can like, okay, we can go to cover now.
Right.
But I don't want cover to always be 100% scary.
But if I were playing Akash Buddha in a tournament, I would hold that over their heads the whole game.
Yeah, but there's at a certain point in time, you're going to have a situation where it's better to use it than to hold it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you would have cause to use it more than once, probably. Given that you only get an average of 2 turns, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You should totally be able to switch aspects whenever you want. Currently, you can switch aspects during the start of your turn phase. Being able to switch aspects whenever.
I don't really think you need to outside of the start, because you know your turn. You're only taking 2 actions.
Yeah, I could see an advantage though of like my first action I want to be in magma form because it gives it as an attack.
Why would you not always stay in rock form then?
At the end of you'd end every turn in rock form.
End every turn in rock form.
Well, no, because sometimes you'll want to end a tree form to give your allies line of sight. You'll probably never end a turn in magma form.
I think that like the slowness of the character needs to stay so that you can't switch back and forth.
Switching back and forth too often I think is a problem. The other problem with that is that's going to make someone's turn take a lot longer. If you're like, okay, I'm going to start in this form, I'm going to do this thing, then I'm going to switch forms, then I do this thing, and then switch forms again, and do this thing.
Switching forms like that is also like a skyscraper thing.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah. Choose to detonate any tree on the map. I don't remember an attack. Wooded cover.
Knowing that for skyscraper also, the card fits right over that is pretty handy.
Oh, okay. Trees means growing things, and that screams counters to me. It's true. We could give out. I mean, the trees could just give out attack +1 tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's thorns. You give out thorns to your teammates.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's
give some buffs.
Yeah. How long will it take to accrue the tokens? Looking at 1 mega attack per skirmish average. Yeah, we're gonna tweak that.
Yeah, I think that you should not always have a mega attack per skirmish. That you have to focus on getting to the mega attack.
Give 1 hit point to other allies and radius cover. No, I don't want to. She already has enough healing. She has a base healing ability that she can use, so I don't want to give her another one. You can switch aspects whenever. You can always end in rock defense. Right, good. Luther's with us on that. If you're never a magma, then magma mini is sad. Yeah. Yeah. No, I want to switch to the beginning. Ongoing hazard spaces block line of sight. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Skyscraper is indeed a character that we've created. We have confirmed that.
Yeah. She's so yeah. I don't need any more. Okay, here's things we don't need anymore. If we don't need any more defense, we don't need any more healing. I like Luther's idea about Thorn's aura. Whenever an ally is attacked, they gain plus attack tokens. Yeah. And that would encourage attack play, which is good. And that's another tree thing.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. When ally attacked, gain attack +1 tokens. All right. No, and then yeah. Oh my god, take forever. No, please, by all means, take longer. I'll go check that before.
And Peter says he wants to have some really interesting weird power, something that's not an attack and it isn't just token distribution.
That's true, and that's the sort of thing I'd probably like to see as the boss card. But she has stuff that is, I mean, she has Patch of the Earth,
Right.
which is an attack and an opposed distribution. But yeah,
We're going back to here.
We're gonna go back. Yeah, we're gonna go back to here. I'm gonna go grab the printout that I just made. We're gonna mess around with what we've got. So we are no longer looking at the chat. If there's anything that you specifically super need us to hear, let Craig know to come tell us.
Yep.
Don't look at my notebook!
I'm making our notes. Which we had.
Okay, so we have rock armor,
Volcanic eruption.
trees of the
Yeah.
field, pass of the
Tree
earth.
attack.
Yeah, tree attack. Okay, so I'm just gonna call this lava flow for now, even though that's not gonna be its name. And this is a surge ability. What is up, Craig? Oh, hey, yeah. Thank you for telling us that the camera's still pointed down. Sorry about that. Here, go look at it.
Yeah. Down a little.
Oh yeah.
I got it. Go from here. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks about right.
Yep.
All right. No. Oh, Luke. What? Yes, agreed.
Lava flow. Moving larva.
Okay. Right, so the lava flow is an ongoing, that's surge, and so the cool thing about this one is that you're gonna do, also, we have the problem with her that lava is not very dangerous, it's only one die by itself,
Right.
not in magma form. Because you're rolling the dice for it, you have a +2 to all attacks. So, one hex of lava by itself
Is a 3-die
is a
attack.
3-die attack.
If you get a full rows of it,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that's
Normally 7.
10
No, it's 9. Still +3, +2?
plus 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
We just said that.
Okay. Did we say that?
Yes. So
And then with any attack bonus tokens.
right. So
Yeah.
surge, move, all lava, hexes, 1 space.
That's a little rough to set up, but it should be. Like, you shouldn't be able to just trivially do 9 die attacks.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah. No, and I doubt anybody's gonna get all 9 out, or I mean all 7 out in a
I
single
think-
game.
yeah, I think you have a higher chance if the volcanoes in play, because you can use those to buff your own lava tokens, right?
It's true.
So if the attack is originating from one of your lava tokens,
Mm-hmm.
then the volcano would still add to that.
Yeah, because they are
But if
adjacent.
they're physically in the volcano, then
it's not.
They don't get the bonus.
They don't get the +2 bonus
Yeah.
from you because it's not your attack.
Right.
But okay, so
You still could extend that 7 die attack.
move all lava hexes 1 space, then all lava hexes make their hazard attacks. Okay, so that's lava flow for now. Earthquake. That's pretty neat. The more I write, the worse my handwriting is.
That's always the case. You look at some of the old notes from.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay.
Because you like wrote every character in a row, and then
Mm-hmm. That took forever.
yeah, they're illegible. Entirely illegible.
We were at IHOP for 1 million hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So earthquake, you can. So I'm gonna say push each target in line of sight 1 space, and then you may remove any number of elevation hexes to make this attack. The wording on this is really awkward.
Do you remove X, where X is the number of dice?
No, because you're making it. You're removing. So you're removing the number of spaces equal to the number of characters you want to hit.
Okay.
So the number, the dice you roll and everything is going to be set on this. But what it is like, okay, I want to hit those two people. I'm going to remove these two hexes, and that lets me hit those two.
So
people.
it's remove X to do this attack against X targets.
Yeah. So remove X elevation hexes to make this attack against or on whatever X targets in line of sight. Let's see if I can fit this onto a card. I'm going to move that around a bit more.
Right.
And I want to make this a 3-die attack. Oh, her attack's going to come out 3 cards. That should work. I'm not sure I want to do the auto miss on this. And it's going to be origin 0, radius 0. I'm going to say 2 and 4 for auto misses right now, but we'll tweak that. Okay. So that one pushes every target in line of sight one space, and then you can remove tokens to damage things. I want to write down the last one, and then I want to talk about what I think we're missing with her.
Okay.
Because the two things, we can either incorporate into cards we've already created by shifting those cards around, or put them into our character panel. All right, Thorns. I'm naming this Aura of Thorns, but I don't like that because, like, her giving auras to people is wrong.
Right.
But this is just, yeah. And this is an ongoing, which when an ally in line of sight takes damage, they gain attack +1 tokens equal. No, they gain 1 attack +1 token. When you may remove X forest X's to give them X additional
Okay.
attack +1.
Oh, is that each of them?
What do
Or
you
is
mean?
every
What do you
time
mean
that
each of them?
happens?
It's every time it happens. So when an ally is hit,
Yeah.
you give them an attack +1 token. But you're like, I'm also going to remove these 2 forest hexes and give you 2 more attack +1 tokens.
Cool.
So it's not going to be an each of them thing because they'll go
Right.
one at a time.
Yeah.
If 3 people get hit simultaneously, you
still will have to spend it for each token.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And we'll push that around until it works.
Right.
So okay.
all of this has made me think that she needs a little bit
Yes.
faster token generation.
The 2 things that I want is token generation and an ult move of some sort.
Yeah.
So right now she's. I want to see how she's generating tokens, how she's spending tokens.
Right.
Currently, she's generating them with an action off of rock, magma, or verdant aspects.
Right.
And she's not generating any by her character panel at this point. She can remove elevation tokens to give out to gain defense tokens. She can remove elevation tokens to make attacks with Earthquake. She can remove volcanic eruption doesn't remove any tokens. Trees of the Field doesn't remove any tokens. Lava Flow doesn't remove any tokens. So you never actually remove lava tokens for any reason.
I don't necessarily mind that.
I don't mind that either, especially because they're the ones.
The feeling of lava doesn't seem like you'd be trading it in a lot.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
you get it out
You
and
can
then
remove
use it
and
to...
you'll remove them for your ult.
Right, yeah.
And then the Aura of Thorns, you can remove cover tokens for that, but you can't remove cover. You don't need to remove cover tokens for Trees of the Field.
Right. That's a one shot.
So right now, so you're removing elevation for rocks and for earthquake, and you're removing forest hexes for Aura of Thorns. So you're not. And then you can also gain a token. You gain a token whenever you pass through the earth. I'd like to see a little bit more. Okay, great. We'll give her 2 base abilities. She'll have a base ability. A base ability. Oh, that's so good. Which is place 1 of your 3 hex tokens, and I will actually spell out the names adjacent. So she can just, as a base ability power, like Bunker's base power, she can put any one of the 3 hexes she has next to her.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, I mean, she's limited on actions anyway.
That's true.
I wonder about just making her do 2 each time she.
Oh,
like,
these give you 2 each time?
These give you 2 each time.
They could always put one underneath her and one adjacent to her.
Yeah, that makes a degree of sense. Because it's like.
Yeah, and then the scary thing with cover is that you could accidentally attack yourself then. Oh, but you can't because you're immune to your attacks, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I'm okay with that. That saves that space.
If we need to give her more, then we can. But
so,
I think that 2 should be.
So she gains it. So you add 1 evolution token in adjacent space and under. So each of them.
Yeah.
Each of the aspect powers
does it makes where you're standing even more important.
Right. Does one you create one underneath you and then you push it out past you a little bit.
Yeah.
In all of them. That's cool. So now you're generating twice as many tokens. Not quite twice as many because Pass Through the Earth didn't change, but I don't think it should. The other thing we could do is make Pass Through the Earth crazy in terms of token generation, where she comes up and creates a hex rows of tokens all around her.
But they're all the same token.
They could all be different, but I think they should all be the same token. But
Right,
I don't think that we should do that yet. If we play her a bit and we're like, she needs a ton more token generation,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with making Pass Through the Earth bloom every time it lands.
Right.
Or maybe it puts 1 in adjacent. But I think leaving it, she's right now generating twice as many tokens, and you can do the thing. So now what I want to talk about is what sort of ultimate thing you want to have her do on her card, where it's like, okay, remove 3 tokens of each type, because I think 3 of each type right now is a hefty cost that you can get to, but it'll take some doing.
Yeah. It takes a little work.
Right. So let's just say remove 3 tokens.
I'm not convinced that it shouldn't be even just 2, because of each type, you still have to take 3 turns to do that.
Yeah. We'll say 2 for now.
So you're intentionally prolonging the game to get to your 4th turn, or your 3rd turn, I guess.
Yeah, because it's
depending on how you use it.
So, but yeah,
right.
So you remove 2, and you haven't removed any up to this point. But so you remove 2 tokens of each type. But what do you do with that?
What do you do with that?
What is a big ult crazy move for her?
Is it an attack? Is it attack and a buff and it should have all 3 aspects, right?
Okay.
Because you're channeling all 3. I
think that
throwing a fiery tree with a rock tied to it.
There we go. I think it should give you and each ally an attack +1 token. It should give each enemy a defense -1 token.
Not line of sight, just gives.
No, yeah, it just straight up gives out tokens.
Right.
And then it should do something. Like those are just token generation. Then it should do something, some like weird thing. Okay, I have an idea.
Yeah.
It does not have to do with coming to the answer of this.
Okay.
-1 token. I think that we should. It is noon. I think that we should go grab lunch. Come back here and eat lunch and talk about like where she is and what she's missing.
Cool.
Because like we want one big weird thing left for her. So there's that.
Yep.
Um,
Let's do that.
I'll be right back real quick. Let me just grab a thing. Thank you. Okay. Oh, you look at my notes.
Let's just comparing.
Ah.
Yep.
Okay. Great. So let's go. You want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about. Let me switch the. Okay, we'll be back.
We're gonna be back in just a few minutes, and you'll get to watch us eat tacos and talk about Akash Darsha. Bye.
Hello, we're back.
That's true. So I think that I want the ultimate move to be something that. So we've talked a lot about her being supporting.
Yes.
And she is very supporting. So I think that her ultimate move should be a support thing. In that she's like, okay, each opponent gets a defense minus 1 token, each ally and you get an attack plus 1 token, and each ally other than you, each of your allies, may take an action now.
Oh wow. So it's like.
And that's only in a tournament game, it's only 2 players.
Yeah, but that's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. And since
Yeah.
you're removing 2 tokens, I mean, if anything else, we can just make it 2 all across the board. So each ally gains 2 attack plus 1 tokens, each enemy gains 2 defense minus 1 tokens, and each ally may take an action now. Not 2 actions. Each ally may take 1 action now.
God, my Second National Bank of Gotham.
Ally. I'm gonna say 1 attack plus 1 defense minus 1, and each ally may take 1 action now.
Taco just broke. I hate when that happens.
So you get. That's why hard tacos are done. That's why you get a hard taco that is wrapped inside something.
I got that also, but I like the hard tacos.
Yeah, but I like the hard tacos. See, I got the Doritos Crazy Time inside. Yeah, no, it's all sorts of nonsense going on here. Take and action. Yeah.
What I love about Taco Bell
Okay.
is that they completely know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like McDonald's, like, we're healthy now. You're not.
Like, no fast food is healthy.
Right.
I like the Taco Bell. Whoever runs their social media does a great job. Their Twitter and their Facebook stuff. They
They're like Orwellian ad campaign that they just ran is fantastic too.
Mm-hmm.
They have an awesome marketing department over there.
Yeah. Well, you have to be at that point to stand out. But there's also Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. Always have.
Taco Bell, king of fast foods. This stream brought to you by Taco Bell. I wish I had like a logo.
Sponsorship.
I wish I had a logo.
I wish that when we came back from the feed, the Greater Than Games logo to the corner, you'd replace the Taco Bell.
Changes to Taco Bell.
Yeah. Run to the border.
Boom.
All right, we're going to change Takashi Darsha to something Taco Bell related.
Akash could do that.
Need a napkin.
Oh yeah, could you grab me one too?
Can do.
All characters from here on out will be Taco Bell related. This one's broken too. This is what you're all here for.
Taco Bell. Watching us eat Taco Bell. Taco aspect.
You're done. Taco aspect, where she has an outer hard shell. Nacho aspect, where she breaks herself into a bunch of little pieces.
That's nacho aspect. Peter had an idea that her ultimate could to give out a new power card to each ally. And I'm not sure that because he mentioned something about poison cards, but essentially like positive things. But rather than doing that, I think that just saying that each ally, before saying on the ultimate, like give out to each ally attack +1, each enemy a defense -1. Each ally may switch one of their power cards now, and then each ally may take an action. So you can let people.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like reverse poisons of giving that out, but that's a different character.
That's Arjanetta.
Yeah.
That is what I want to do with him. Is reverse poisons, because it makes sense. Too bad we're not putting him in the game.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad all of everyone's favorite characters won't make it into the game.
That is very sad.
We've intentionally gone through and figured out who's everyone's favorite is and killed them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's just the way it works.
Yep. Because we're heartless.
We should let the feed off a little bit longer. This is weird.
Yeah, just watching us eat.
I've never.
I've never eaten on film before.
Yeah, that's weird. Just try to think about it. So what is this character missing now? We've got the 3 aspects. We've got 7 power cards. 2 that relate to each of the aspects, and 1 that is just extra mobility. She has her ult that costs her a bunch of tokens. And she could build 2, but she can also choose to not build 2.
And that's innate.
Mm-hmm.
Or a 9. Best joke ever.
So funny. Oh man, another taco. What's this world coming to?
I don't know, seems pretty good.
Yeah. Well, since we're gonna be here stuck here a little bit longer before we go, because in a minute I'm gonna go start creating playtesting stuff so we can actually start playing,
And I'll start drawing.
and that'll change the feed
Mm-hmm.
for the better. Is there anything we want to talk about? Like, what sort of stuff do we want for the boss panel? Well, hey, if nothing else, this. Health, actions, defense, and movement. You know what? If we don't give the giant Akash Buddha 3 power slots and we just have her keep the regular 2 power slots, we don't have to put a rule on there about she has an extra power slot. And I don't think that she'll need a 3rd power slot because she'll get the 3 aspects for free.
Mm-hmm. They take a separate turn though, right?
Yeah. But she has the 3 aspects, and they don't take a turn like a regular thing. The only thing they can do... we'll have to have stat cards for the aspects, essentially.
Like minion stat cards?
Yeah. What we might do is have 2 different versions of the aspects. We have the aspect cards when you're playing the tournament mode, and they go in the slot on your character sheet. And then we have the aspect minion card that has the same text on it. No, we put it on the back side of the same card.
Oh, yeah.
We have the aspect cards, and the front side of the aspect card is this is played as an aspect version, and the back side of the aspect card is this is the minion version. And you can even use the same art. You have to maybe not.
I don't know. I have to think about that.
Worst case scenario, you have to do 2 arts for it.
That's not what I'm worried about.
What are you worried about?
Having the non-tournament data on the tournament table.
That should be fine. If anybody's like, oh, what's this? Like, that is not for the tournament. Like,
right, but that's something also still that I mean, you have to assume for clowns that they're gonna go like, oh, no, but I want to know about this right now, or like, and like make a big deal about it. Why can't I have it on this side? And what's the importance of this? And like,
yeah, I'm not super concerned about it. The other thing is that when you have your cards, similar to what you do with Skyscraper, when you have your cards on your character panel, instead of having like 1 there and 2 somewhere else, just have all 3 stacked up there and just switch to whichever one's on top. That's gonna make the most sense.
yeah.
I mean, if we need to do 3 separate cards, you can, but having fewer things, I think is going to be nicer.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it still works to the most troublemaking individual.
That's fair. Yep.
So, if it's so then I think there's not much left on this.
Yeah, there's nothing. As far as I can tell, without getting into the playtesting, I'm happy with where we are with the tournament version for Craft Darsha. I want to. We'll create some things and start messing around with it, but then we need to create health and actions and defense and movement, and figure out what goes on the boss panel, and then figure out if there's any other cards that she needs to make. And then we're like, hey, like obviously we'll get into other things as scenarios, but is there any card that she's going to have that she just doesn't have access, that is a boss panel sort of power? I don't know that there is.
Yeah, everything else I can think of as like scenario specific,
right?
Like trading out map tiles, rotating map tiles, like any of that stuff.
Yeah, because you can't give her anything that messes with the map tiles themselves in the tournaments, because those are all on solid maps.
Right.
Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
All right, so all that said,
I guess I'm probably just gonna start drawing.
I think you should start drawing.
Okay.
And I will start inputting all this into our docs, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
So the feed.
So feed's gonna change over to my desktop.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave the audio going if that's possible, right?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, my chair is so low. So we're gonna leave the audio going the way it currently is, and then the screen is gonna change to where Adam's drawing, and so you'll be able to watch Adam drawing, and and there's the other thing, and I'll be in the chat. I'm very soon here going to actually be paying attention to the chat. So. All right, they're talking about the fact that we were eating tacos.
All right. Okay. So the stream now should be my desktop. Yep, looks good. Are there any characters? I'm gonna just do some sketches first.
Yeah, we need some sketches for the aspects.
I figure out what characters I can't tell people about.
Well, we're not to that point yet, anyway,
Right.
and we can take an off-air pause when that comes up. But for now, I would say just do some aspect sketches, because we need to make sure we get them nailed down, because then all the other arts are gonna involve them. I mean, that's what we need. Is that at this point, everything that we have going on in the game in terms of the power cards is stuff that the aspects are doing. So we need some power cards that the big thing is doing. Hey, Jody, how are you?
Let me know if anyone has any questions for me specifically.
Will do. I'm gonna keep like half of an eye on the chat, so that because I still gotta write all this stuff up.
Right. I for anyone listening, I do not see the chat at all.
Yeah. Adam is blind. Turns out.
Yeah,
Which makes the drawing.
But if you have any specific art questions or anything for me or anything, tell Christopher or Craig, and they can relay that to me.
Close that. Close that. Silverly says that it would be nice to see a waist that's wider than the head.
This waist is made of rock. Okay, so I have plant.
Let me see. Oh, you drew 3 exactly the same. How did you draw 3 that are
I just
exactly
copied
the
the
same?
layer.
That's amazing. I don't have that sort of consistency to be able to do that.
Fire.
All right. Good. That's perfect. I think you're good to go. That makes them look distinct and different. They each have a little thing floating over their head.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do we want the rock base still on each of them, and then have different aspects to them?
I don't think
or
so. I think that we want them
so
like.
entirely made of.
I think that they could have like some rocks in there maybe, but these aspects they are like her form, but they're not. They don't look.
Okay.
They're not gonna be like a like so
The only one that's like weird for is the plants, I guess. But
yeah, I mean you can. I would.
I'll probably keep the face plate the same, just so that I would
Yeah, that's
have
fine.
that face structure still.
Okay. Let's see. I'll make a new folder in here. Luther is asking what the the most recent version of the Mega ability is. Cool. And it is she. Can you guys hear me?
Say something.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're spiking volume on my screen.
Okay, cool, good. Anyway, so the her current ability, she removes 2 tokens, 2 hex tokens from each of the of each type from the board. If she does, she gives herself and each ally an attack +1 token. She gives each opponent a defense -1 token. Each ally may switch one of their current power cards in play, and then each ally may take an action immediately. If you can't tell the difference, this is Christopher. This is what Christopher sounds like when he talks.
And this is what Adam sounds like.
Adam is talking from behind the camera. I'm talking from in front of it, but it's got dual stereo mics, so I don't know how much of a difference that'll make.
I don't know. My volume's hitting the same as yours is, so.
Okay, cool.
Whatever.
Somebody said that they can't hear us, and we can talk about secret characters. So I think we should talk about the Pepper Genie.
The Pepper Genie is not real.
The Pepper Genie is real. The Pepper Genie is real and civilization.
The Pepper Genie is something that I've been fighting against since day 1.
To be fair, it's more like day 2.
Day 2, I've been fighting against the Pepper Genie.
And I have been a great proponent of the Pepper Genie since day 2. Gosh. Does that include herself? If not, what does Mega Power do in scenario? The scenario won't matter, Luther, because this is her tournament panel. So the regular panel, her scenario panel won't even have that it'll have completely different cards on it. Oh good, Rachel says we're coming through at the same volume. Good. Yeah. So yeah.
So for what it's worth, what I'm doing here is making the lines, the vines that she's made of in this form thicker and more like muscle fiber, so as to make her enough different from mangrove. Mangrove is like a ton of smaller vines, and so like these are bigger, a little more bulbous.
People are not impressed with the excitingness of the radio right now between just typing, and that's too bad.
Sorry.
I get to watch Adam draw.
I can put some music on instead if you want to put that to the feed.
So Luther says an interaction to consider is cloaking device. If Ambuscade's not on the board due to cloaking device, then he doesn't get to take an action because he's not there. If the team has not communicated well with themselves, with each other, and as a result, like...
And they botch that?
Yeah, Akash Darsha uses her ultimate power while Ambuscade's not on the board, and therefore they miss out on an action, like, that's their own fault.
Yeah. We provide you with the tools to make these things awesome. If you squander them, then...
Yeah. If he's not on the board, nothing happens. If he is on the board, then everything goes normally. The concern is okay. Luther's concern was switching into cloaking device instead of taking an action. Not that taking the action. Okay. Well, let's see here. Well, it shouldn't matter, because if he switches out his card for cloaking device, it won't, nothing will, I mean, he'll switch out for cloaking device, nothing will happen. Then at the start of his next turn, it'll be the power, at the start of Ambuscade's next turn, it'll be the power up phase, and it'll say power up. If Ambuscade is not on the map, place him in an unoccupied hex and return this card to your hand. Since he is on the map, nothing will happen. If he switches out of cloaking device is the issue. So if he has cloaking device there and he switches out of it into something else, then he will never get to return to the map.
Sounds good.
The only way he could return to the map is if on a future turn of his he switches back into cloaking device. So once again he could mess himself up. Let's see, next time. No. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, if he is out, if he's off the map, he doesn't exist, and he switches out a power card, and he switches out cloaking device for something else, then on his turn he can't come back. And the rest of the game until he switches back in is a 3v2. I don't have a problem with that, although if that were to happen in a tournament and he was like, well, I'll switch out my cloaking device, the judge slash moderator person would at least inform the player, you know you're doing this, or you're doing this on purpose. And if they are, then that's fine. But I don't necessarily have a problem with it because it doesn't necessarily break the game. It just ruins Ambuscade. He's out, and I mean he can come back in whenever he wants by just on his turn. All at that point he can do on his turn is switch out his power stuff. But he's not on the map. Yeah, it's weird. It's not good, but I don't think that it ruins the power. I don't think it ruins Akash Darsh's power. What did you draw? You got some vines going there. Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so he asks, does Akash have a base attack independent of aspects or one linked specifically to a lava aspect?
It's linked specifically, right?
Right. There's the magma one magma aspect has a base attack. On the panel, its ultimate attack is not linked to any of its aspects, but it. But yeah, the only one the base attack that it has is the magma aspect base attack. There's one color of vines, yo? Not like...
No, I'm not going to do all that. Here, there's a few different colors. There you go.
So far we have had one vote for playing music and one vote for no music. So, at this point...
It's up in the air.
Yeah.
Until we can reach a consensus.
Yeah, no, there's a point we're not even going to... Adam's not going to draw anymore. I'm not going to write anymore. We're just going to wait. Somebody wants to know what you would think of the face for this one being made out of wood.
I'm trying to keep that aspect across each of them.
Yeah, I think that I like the stone face on all of them, and then the stone face on this one, it can have like green eyes, and then the rock one can just be like.
I was gonna keep the eyes all the same.
Oh, you're gonna keep the red eyes all the same on all three?
Let me see what I did with the.
We have lots of votes for no music, actually.
Okay.
People like wood. Some people wants me to sing. I think that nobody else wants that. Somebody asks if there's a base attack that is an aspect of not. Yeah, Josh, that's a fair idea, but I kind of like it so that they are stuck. That you're stuck with like you can do what your aspect can do, and also we have to.
Okay, so interesting.
I can see it either way.
I changed your eye color on this.
Okay. Oh, you did? Is it purple?
Yeah, it's purple.
Okay, well then I would keep purple eyes for all three. Especially because purple doesn't associate with any of the three. Purple's not for rocks or plants or fire.
Right.
So yeah.
If it were like fire and it were red dominant, then.
Yes, Richard, that is correct. There's no Oblivion shards on any aspects. Okay, a compromise has been requested. What about like moss or lichen on the faceplate for the?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. Tacos on the faceplate. Actually, you're right.
Yep. Tacos.
Tacos. No foot. The shards are not going to be in any of the 3 aspects. The shards are only in the big one.
Okay, well there's one aspect.
Okay. So you say there's some hints of it given out how she looks at the bunker's card? Yeah, she has purple eyes now.
Yep.
Instead of red eyes. And then the aspects are the 3 different versions that she can take. So she's got the plant aspect, and Adam's about to draw the rock, and then the fire aspect. Okay, back to writing. Magma aspect. Bye, Peter. Thanks for joining us. It was great to have you here.
Bye. I wish you well. Hey, somebody commented that they like the floaty rocks, which is good because we freaking love the floaty rocks. That's a go-to.
Yep. Yeah, floaty rocks. 2 things in this world float: rocks and cigars. Yep.
Here's a whole bunch more. All the floaty rocks. This one's pretty straightforward.
Fantascapey, there are going to be 4 scenarios that come with the construction. There's going to be a comic book that has 4 scenarios. One that focuses around each of the different aspects, and then one that is the big boss and all the aspects. And then there's going to come with 2 different character panels. One that works for tournament play, and then one that works for scenario play.
No glow on these eyes.
No glow, as in you're not putting glow, or you're adding glow now?
There's not glow on them.
I don't think. Yeah.
Here, I'm adding like little light specks.
The floaty rocks don't have color.
No, and they won't. They're transparent. She's floating quartz.
I'm gonna remove the attack +1 token that you get out of her ult, because right now everything she's doing affecting other people. So for her ult, she's giving everybody attack +1 tokens. She's giving all the opponents defense -1 tokens, and then she's letting all of her friends switch their power cards and play a power.
Cool.
But so it's her giving herself an attack +1 token. I think doesn't fit with the rest of that.
Yeah. I'm with you.
People are making lots of suggestions, and I'm sure you don't want to hear any of them.
If there's any decent ones. Now I've made you.
I like the
arbiter of decent.
Okay, I like the eyes better without the pupils. Can you make the mask more apparent?
They're not pupils. They're that's like glint.
How about some veins of quartz or something? Eye color should be different with each aspect. Eye color should definitely not be different with each aspect. And things like veins of quartz and more apparent mask and so on and so forth. Like these are not the final arts that he's doing. These are just quick sketches to show the different versions that we're going to be using here. So don't worry about it too much. And it's okay. You guys can argue back and forth whether or not you like the color of the eyes, but they're going to be purple on all three aspects. Turns out. So. All right. What's here? Switch. Cool. Aspect cards. Rock. Meow meow. Someday that joke will get old.
Never.
But today is not that day. And that's the second time today I've made that joke.